Hi friends, welcome to Wafa Studies YouTube channel. This is part 77 in Azure Data Factory playlist. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to read JSON output of any activity into another activity in Azure Data Factory. So the main agenda is to discuss about this reading JSON output from one activity to another activity in Data Factory. So let's quickly go to demo and I will practically implement that and show you. So if I go to my data factory, this is our data factory. Let's click this author icon here to open our data factory. So let me create a new pipeline here. Okay, this is my new pipeline called pipeline 4. Okay, so now first question is we should understand like what is the JSON, what is the output JSON of any activity. We should understand that first. Okay, I will show you that practically now. Let's go to Azure Data Factory. See right now, this is my Azure Data Factory. Let me explain you requirement first. This is my storage account. I have a containers here. Inside these containers, I have a container called data files. Inside this container, I have a folder called input where I have a lot of files. You can see here, there are so many files are available here, right? So now if you have followed my video series of this Azure Data Factory from the starting, by this time you already have an idea like what is for each activity, what is set variable activity, what are variables in the data factory, everything. So please watch all those videos before watching this video because we are going to use all those activities to implement this, right? So as I said, first we need to understand what is JSON output of any activity. Okay, so let me explain you that. So let's use one get metadata activity. And for this get a metadata activity, I am going to use a dataset here. If you see here I am going to use a dataset which will actually point to this input folder. Okay. So when I point to this input folder using a dataset, what I am going to say, I am going to get all the child items from this folder using get metadata activity. So how to do that? Use a get metadata activity. Here, let's create a new dataset, blob storage type, continue. Let's select some format, CSV format, continue. So here, let's give one name it. So DS means dataset underscore input folder. So this is what the naming convention I am following here, DS. It's not mandatory to give the same name. You can give any name. Okay. So I already have a linked service for my storage location. I selected that. Now let me browse the location. So it is going to be data files container. Inside the data files container, I have a folder called input. So click OK. Then click OK. This is going to be my data set, which is actually pointing to input folder. Now, what I'm going to do here inside this field list, I am going to select child items. These child items actually get all the file names from this folder. Okay. So now, if you see my pipeline, I have only one activity. Okay. Let's run this. So right now I didn't publish the changes yet. So I can run this pipeline in a debug mode. So if I have published, I can run in a debug mode and also I can trigger it also. So you can use this trigger now option. But right now I didn't publish now. So let's go with the debug execution. So now I have clicked the debug execution. You can see here the pipeline is started running. If you closely observe here inside the output tab, this is where it will show you the status. You can see our pipeline execution is successful and this is our pipeline run ID. And inside the pipeline we have only one activity called get metadata and type is get metadata type, when it started, duration, status, everything is there. But if you see here for this activity there are two icons here. This icon is like input and this icon is like output. So if you click this icon, input icon, what it is going to show is basically a JSON which will actually similar to your input. That means what data you are giving to your get metadata activity. If you see here, it's saying like under dataset, I am using a dataset called DS input folder. That dataset I am using as a input, and under field list, I am asking like get the child items using the get metadata activity. So these are settings I did it right. Same thing it is showing it here. So let me zoom in. Let me close this. If you see get metadata activity, see this is the data set I am using and this is the field list I am using. You can see under field list. So all these details, whatever we are providing as an input, they are available there. Let me click this on a white canvas. Once again, let me go to the output tab here. See, this is like input. Now, whatever the outcome of this particular activity, as I said, this activity should get all the files, right, because we are using a child items as a field list. So all the output, right, it will be available in the output JSON. If you see here, this is the output JSON. When I click it, when I expand it, if you see here, this is where you can see all the JSON. It has a child items property here, which is basically like array type. Let me zoom in. See child items property, which is array type. Inside this array, we have a lot of objects. This is one object. Each object represents one file inside that particular folder, right? And we have the type also there, mentioning like whether it is a type, file or folder, whatever maybe it is. See, this is like the output. Okay, so every activity will have one input and one output. Okay, so both input and output will be available like this JSON format. Okay, so now by any reason there might be cases where you want these values. If you see here inside my get metadata activity output JSON, see this is the output JSON na? So inside the output JSON I have a child items property which is basically like array, you can say, which is basically like an array, and that array has multiple objects, multiple JSON objects. So each object here contains my file name. So let's assume my requirement is I want to read this output in the subsequent activities so that I can get this file name, maybe to process or maybe to set this file name into some variable, whatever may be the reason I want that. So how to access all this? For example, I want to access this child items array inside my subsequent activity. So let's do one thing. So let's open a notepad here first. So whenever you need to use this output JSON of one activity into another, you need to do this. Execute that activity and note down the JSON properties properly. So in the output JSON, you can see there is something called child items, right? Let me copy this. So child items is the property which is basically like a array. So that contains what that contains? That contains a JSON objects in it. So now in each JSON object, if you see here, this is one JSON object. In each JSON object, we have a property called name. We have a property called name here. So that name property actually gives you file name, right? So you need to note down like this the property names, child items and name. So remember this, like child items is basically array. Let me keep this angular brackets here so that I can understand like it is like an array. Okay. So now let me zoom out. Let me close this window. Now what I want to use this output JSON of get metadata into subsequent activity. Maybe I want to use a for each activity here. Okay, let's use a for each activity. Now I am going to connect this for each activity with the get metadata activity. See, you need to remember this. Whenever you want to use one activity output into another, you need to connect it. If you don't connect it, you will not see that output basically. Let me show you that. Let me delete this first, the connection. Now I am going to the for each loop. In the for each loop, we already know that in the items field, we need to pass a array. On that array, for each loop will perform all the iterations taking each value, right? That's how the for each loop work. So basically you need to provide an array here. So we have a array inside this output JSON of get metadata, right? So and what is the property name? Child items is the property name which will give you the array, right? So I want to use that. So if you want to use that, you need to click this add dynamic content, and here let's minimize this system variables, let's minimize these functions. After that, you can see here there is nothing there, nothing like activity outputs. There is no activity outputs listed here, right? The reason is right now this activity for each activity is not connected with any activity. So let's connect this with the get metadata activity. Now we connected this get metadata activity with for each. Now if I go to for each and items field, and here if I click add dynamic content, if I minimize system variables, functions, now I can see activity outputs, and there is one activity mentioned already here, like get metadata one. So how it is mentioned? Because we can see this activity is already connected, na? So in the chain, this activity is already connected, and that activity name, say if you observe the name here, get metadata one, the same thing listed here. So simply you need to select that. When you select that, you will get a code something like this. It says like activity, what is the activity name? Get metadata one dot output, right? This output basically give you the entire output JSON whatever I shown you before. Now what I want to do is in that output JSON, I want to take the array. So that array is available under this child items property. Na? So copy this, go to here, after output, put a dot, then paste that. So now the if you see the full code, it is like activity get metadata one dot output till here it will give the entire JSON. On that JSON, I want the child items property, which is basically array, right? Like this, you need to write these expressions properly to read JSON output of one file into another file. So let me click finish here. Now, what will happen is this, if I go here, this output JSON and this child items property here, all this array, right? Whatever the array value we have here, the entire array will be given to the for each loop to iterate. Okay, automatically that will happen because of this code. Okay, and this is how you should write. So now let's do one thing. So let's make these iterations to be sequential. That means take each value from this particular array. That means in our case, our array contains basically JSON objects, right? So take each JSON object and perform a iteration and then come back for this array once again and take the next JSON. So it will be like a sequential order. So when I choose this sequential, it is going to be sequential order. Now let me click this on this pipeline scope. Now let's go to variable. Let's create a new pipeline called maybe like file name. Okay, this is my variable name. Right now there is no value here. Now what I want to do, inside this for each loop, let's go to activities tab. Let's click this pencil icon. Now if you observe right now inside pipeline 4, inside for each loop I am. So what I want to do is basically here, I want to use a set variable activity. Using this set variable activity, what I want to do, I want to select this variable which I created, and what I want to make sure the file name whatever we are getting from that array to assign that file name into this variable. So how to do that? Click this add dynamic content. Right now we are inside the for each loop. Remember that. So now let's minimize these system variables. Let's minimize these functions. Let's minimize these variables. Let's minimize these activity outputs. Now you can see here there is something called for each iterator. If I select this item code, whatever the item code it is generated here, this code basically give each value from that array because it will take each value and it will start the iteration, right? Now if you remember, every value inside this array is nothing but one JSON object. On that JSON object there is a property called name. That field give you the file name. So what I have to do, copy this property name. Now on that items, put a dot and paste that. That means items dot name. This will give you the file name exactly from that JSON object. Let's click finish. Now if I run my entire pipeline, I should get that. I mean I should get all the files here, then pass that array to here, and in the each iteration of that particular array, I am going to use a set variable to set the value of that file name from the JSON into my variable. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Let's go to pipeline. Let's click this debug execution and see whether it is really happening like that. Okay. So I clicked the debug execution. Right now status is running. Now let me expand this and let me click refresh buttons here. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. It will complete. We can see here it looks pipeline status is completed. You can see status is successful. Now if I scroll down, see get metadata activity and then for each loop and then these many set variable activities are executed. Why? Because these many values are there inside that array. So these many times the iteration happened. If you see for the first set variable, when I click this output JSON of the set variable, I can see employees.json file name. That is what the value assigned to that variable. Now if I see the second one, this time it is like employees1.csv file. So like you can see, right, basically I am able to get the each file name basically. So JSON, so properly if you see this example na, from the starting we are trying to read JSONs properly from one activity to the another activity. So this is how we in real time also whenever you are want to make use of any output of one activity JSON into another, you need to first execute that activity and then go to the output JSON of that activity like how I gone before. So just go to that activity output JSON and then like this, go to the activity output JSON, then make a note of like which property has your desired values. Make a note of them like this in a notepad. Then when you are writing a dynamic expression, you need to use like activity output. After output, put a dot, then that property name whatever you listed from the JSON. If you do like that, you will be able to access the output JSON of one activity into another activity. Okay, so hope this given a clear idea. This is how we will do that. Let's go to presentation. Okay, so we completed our demo here. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press bell icon to get the notifications whenever I add videos. Thank you.